This is my ID.
Here's mine here.
Thank you for the opportunity to present our capstone presentation on MyGuardian. The context for this presentation is that the core team has been given the opportunity to present to high-level executives at Microsoft our mobile health and wellness preferences application, combining the most frequently sought mHealth features in one product, as well as the ability to securely share information with non-medical service providers, such as airlines and restaurants, all at the user's discretion and control. We believe the timeliness of such a product couldn't be more prescient given the current pandemic and our desire to not simply return to normal, but improve upon it. We hope you enjoy our presentation. Thank you. I'd like to introduce our Chief Executive and Medical Officer for the next slide, please.
Who controls our health information? Currently, it is siloed across many different providers and conditions. There is no single centralized place which allows us to store information securely and lets us choose to share it how we please. MyGuardian does just that. It puts the individual in control of their information. From pre-existing conditions such as allergies to vaccination records, how can we have access to that information at our fingertips when we visit another specialist, the dentist, a restaurant, a gym, or even book an airline flight? MyGuardian will revolutionize not only the control consumers have over their health information, but make it actionable. It puts us in control of our own destiny. Now I would like to introduce our Chief Technology Officer for the next slide.
Hello. So what is MyGuardian? MyGuardian is a set of apps and web services that allow people to share health information with various service providers that may need it. Pharmacies, fitness centers, or airlines, to just name a few. The system shares it in a way that's cryptographically secure, meaning that it can't be forged and is therefore a reliable source of medical information for these providers. The system works in two stages. In the first stage, when a patient receives a diagnosis or some sort of procedure, the medical provider can forward that information to MyGuardian in a standardized format, where we'll store it in our secure database. When the information then needs to be accessed, the service provider who needs it would list the information that they need in their version of the app, scan a QR code generated by the patient's version of the app, which would then pop up a confirm or deny dialog box, confirming that the patient wants to release this information to the provider. Next slide, please. An important question to ask when dealing with medical information is this secure? MyGuardian will use modern cryptographical techniques that allow software to share information in a secure and non-forgeable way that ensures that only the people who need to see the information can see it, and only the limited amount that they absolutely need. These techniques are implemented using open source software that's widely used in industry and has been heavily scrutinized by academic security researchers to ensure that it works. In addition, we'll be using more modern secure development practices and high security databases to minimize the possibility of data breaches. Even when they do happen, they do not lead to the large scale leaks that have occupied the headlines in recent years. And now I'd like to introduce Ted, our Chief Marketing Officer. Next slide.
For our marketing strategy, huge numbers of people today use mobile or mHealth apps. Not counting fitness or telehealth apps, users generally look for these three functionalities: the ability to schedule an appointment, request prescriptions, and easy access to medical records. Our goal with MyGuardian is not simply a return to normal, but to better than before. How? That's our unique selling proposition, which will not only give users access to their data and preferences, but the ability to share with both medical and non-medical service providers alike. Imagine being able to send an airline proof of your COVID vaccination right from your phone. Being able to send a restaurant your child's food allergies so you can be ensured their meal will be safe. Being able to notify your gym that you have a health condition that requires special precautions. Our three target market segments are as follows. First, health-conscious consumers who want to be able to ensure their providers are aware of and cater to their specialized need. Second, medical providers from private practices to large-scale health systems that will achieve more comprehensive record keeping, streamlined appointment paperwork, and greater patient satisfaction. And finally, third, non-medical service providers, such as those in travel, hospitality, sports, and entertainment, that recognize their customers' perceptions of safety at their venues are intrinsic to re-engaging with their businesses post-pandemic while improving their customer service overall. Even looking at the grid on the slide at our most successful competitors, no products currently on the market provide this level of user to service provider control. Our customer value proposition is thus: MyGuardian improves every facet of your day-to-day interactions with everyone from your doctor's office to your favorite restaurant, helping provide you the most personalized service possible based on your specific needs and preferences. And now I'd like to turn things over to our Chief Financial Officer, Raj. Next slide.
We'll use a competitive pricing approach to win market share and drive other health applications out of favor. Our simplified and easy to navigate 3-tier pricing structure is completely free of charge to consumers. We will also provide incentives to enterprises that bring in high volumes. For example, we'll offer a 50% price reduction for firms with greater than 10,000 interactions per month. This strategy will position us well against our competition and allow us to become the dominant one-stop health app. Moving on to the financial projections, to start, we're going to be requesting a $5 million one-time capital infusion in year one. 75% of that cash infusion will be spent on key areas that we've described during this presentation, such as marketing, tech and security, and salaries. The business will initially operate at a loss, but we'll be able to turn a profit in year 3. The business would have to achieve a conservative 15% market share, as well as 11 million paid interactions in order to meet this target. The year 3 projected net margin is a healthy 41%, and we're estimating around 6.5 million of projected ending cash flows in year 3, which is 1.5 million more than the capital that we're requesting as an infusion in year 1. Detailed income statements, balance sheet, cash flow statements are included in the business plan for your reference. I'm now going to turn over to Stacy, who's going to go over why Microsoft.
So why Microsoft? MyGuardian is being pitched as an initiative within Microsoft. The intent for the MyGuardian brand is to become ubiquitous with electronic medical and personal preference advocacy, yet technologically agnostic and adoptable by anyone, regardless of their mobile device's operating system. MyGuardian will be marketed as being powered by Microsoft for several reasons. Microsoft's investment funding of initial development costs and resources, Microsoft being a trusted organizational repository for sensitive information, Microsoft's strong connections in the enterprise world. Microsoft's involvement with MyGuardian will continue its organizational drive to innovate, and this would be Microsoft's entry into the healthcare field. As our product is an application for smartphones and tablets, the primary distribution mechanisms will be 1, Apple's App Store for the iOS devices, Google's Play Store for Android devices, and the MyGuardian website. For desktops and laptops, we will provide a web-based interface targeting the major web browsers. Our first year will focus on bringing together our MVP in obtaining our security certifications. Year 2 will be dedicated to targeting strategic partnerships, and year 3 will be dedicated to capturing market shares within various targeted industries as outlined in our business plan. Next slide, please.
We have a group of talented and diverse individuals and the breadth and depth of medical, financial, technical, and marketing experience necessary to steer MyGuardian and make it a success. Myself, Dr. Aparna Rajadhyaksha, is a Chief Executive Officer and Medical Officer, and I bring a wealth of experience to population health. Stacy Sigler, RN, as Chief Operating Officer, knows how to run an operation where being nimble and flexible is key. Britton is Chief Technology Officer and has 15 years of experience in various tech startups. Raj Daswani, as Chief Financial Officer, comes from JP Morgan with deep experience in banking. Last but not least, Tedcanaday, as Chief Communications Officer, brings over 20 years of marketing experience to complete the team. Next slide, please. From all of us on the MyGuardian team, thank you for your time and attention, and we look forward to your feedback.